Do you think that this tax break for landlords is the way to go about things? I mean, what surely it would do is potentially encourage more people to be owners and who already have houses, basically, and rent out to people who actually want to own houses themselves.
Well, I mean, to be entirely honest, I'd like to see some more detail of what the government are talking about with any kind of tax credit or tax break. I think what we've actually seen over the last decade is a system of tax regulation, a system of taxation on landlords that's made it very, very hostile. And that's led to some of the problems that Freddie's talking about there in terms of supply. We know at the NRLA that we've actually got more landlords telling us they're selling properties than buying, which normally in a difficult economic climate, you'd see lots of landlords or potential landlords looking to invest. We're seeing the opposite. We're seeing divestment. So yes, we definitely do need to see some movement in the way that landlords are taxed, but also, we need to address the problem of supply.
Now, as we mentioned there, you're from the National Residential Landlords Association, so it's a body that sort of represents landlords' interests. We were having a conversation this morning before the show. People were giving their anecdotes about, some of the unfortunate experiences they've had with landlords. Is there a way, do you think, that landlords and renters, they can sort of meet in the middle and come to some agreement for once as to what the government should be doing to help both sides out? Let's put that to you, Chris.
Well, let's not assume that it's unusual for landlords and tenants to agree. I mean, very often our interests are aligned. We want, as landlords, to see tenants happy in their homes and staying put and paying the rent. And, the same thing is true of households. They don't want to have to move on because landlords are being forced to sell, for instance. So I think actually there's a lot more common ground there than you might assume. I don't know what the government are going to propose at the moment, but I'm sure there'll be something there that we can agree on.
Sure. But isn't the primary concern of landlords, and I'm not saying whether this is right or wrong, it's to maximise their profit on the investment they have made, a buy-to-let investment. Isn't that essentially what their interests are driven by? Is that not right?
Well, like every business, of course, we want to maximise our return. We're not social landlords. We're not charities. Of course, we want to maximise that return. But let's not assume that return is the short term. Landlords, NRLA members tell us they're investing over a 20, 25-year term. They're much better off keeping a happy tenant, perhaps at a slightly lower rent if they can afford to cover their costs, than they are in trying to, let's say, hike rents and drive lots of churn. Churn is incredibly expensive for landlords. It's not what they want to see. They want to see stability. That's stability in households, but also stability in their income over the longer term.